It's not a Muslim ban, but we were totally prepared. It's working out very nicely. You see it at the airports. You see it all over. It's working out very nicely. And
this Muslim ban has got to go. Hey, 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 hey. Ho, ho, ho. This Muslim ban has got to go.
No hate, no fear. Refugees are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Refugees are welcome here.
This executive order was mean-spirited and un-American.
You build the wall. We tear down. You build the wall. We tear down.
We decided to come down here to protest the unconstitutional executive orders put out by President Trump yesterday, banning people from the United States based only on their nationality and really their religion, which is un-American, unconstitutional, and in violation of the Immigration Act of 1965.
Around 1:30, somebody called us, said, "I'm sorry, I have bad news for you. Brother is here." I said, "Can I talk to him?" He said, "No. He's going to just deport it tomorrow with the first airline." I said, "What I can do?" He said, "Nothing. I don't know what I have to do. We run away from the Iranian country. They do something like this, but we didn't know we're going to have the same situation here. I'm a U.S. citizen about 15, 20 years, and my brother didn't do nothing wrong in no place in the world, and I didn't do nothing wrong."
it's working out very nicely. You see it at the airports. You see it all over. It's working out very nicely. And
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wake Up Report. And the Donald Trump ban on immigrants has thrown the world absolutely upside down. Airports are jam-packed with immigrants who cannot leave, even if you have a green card, which means you're here legally. He's saying go back where you come from. If you're where you come from and you're trying to get here, stay where you are. You're not coming in yet. Just total chaos, the ripping apart of families, the total upending of the system. And through it all, his daughter Ivanka Trump takes to Twitter with a photograph and says, "Look at me in my brand new $5,000 Reynolds wrap dress." Just makes you want to go wrap up a chicken or something, or some potatoes, and put it in the oven and bake it. But anyway, he said he was going to do it. I don't understand why everybody's so upset at Donald Trump. And I'm going to have to say I'm in Donald Trump's corner on this one. He told you what he was going to do when he was running for president. Now that he's president and he's starting to do the things that he said he was going to do, people are absolutely, positively in disbelief, I guess. I guess you didn't think Donald Trump was going to do what he said he was going to do. I mean, as far as Ivanka Trump in that dress, man, I tell you, boy, Twitter is a good, boy, they take some shots at you for sure, boy. They had some good stuff. I mean, they absolutely unloaded on this woman for, was it kind of inappropriate? Your dad just blocked access to thousands upon thousands of immigrants, many of whom, was nothing wrong with them coming here. They had every right in the world to come here, and those that were here. But to tweet your brand new $5,000 dress and act like, or you're acting like this, absolutely, and well, maybe you're not acting. It doesn't have any effect on you. So you can go out, party, and have fun and do whatever, man. But Twitter absolutely hit this woman with a barrage of photographs and tweets and of the like, just expressing their just total disgust at this woman for being so out of touch with what is going on. But at the same time, your dad's a billionaire. You don't have to be in touch with the rest of us. Now, the quick fix to all of this, which is what should have been done a long time ago in regards to illegal immigration and people who are undocumented, people who are here that aren't supposed to be here, and blah, 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 and all of that. What should have been done is, if you are already here, come on out of the shadows, come on out of the woodwork, get your citizenship. That's where your vetting process should have started. So anybody who was here, in other words, if the parents were illegal immigrants, but the child was born in the United States, well, let the parents and let the child stay. Big deal. Take care of everybody that's here, and then say, okay, now that we've got everybody here who was already here and they're documented, now we have to start the process of vetting out people from certain parts of the world who we think are linked to terrorism and who we think mean the country more harm than good. Also, President Trump ran on a platform of America First and Americans First. And it seems like there are so many Americans who are mad at President Trump for beginning to take the steps to put them first. For example, Starbucks came out and said, well, I'm going to do I guess it's the owner of Starbucks. I'm going to do the right thing. And I am going to hire 10,000 immigrant workers. Okay, that all sounds good from the politically correct point of view. But if you can hire 10,000 workers, doesn't that mean you can give 10,000 American workers a raise? Instead of paying them what you're currently paying them now, you can take that money and pay your American workers a better wage. So, political grandstanding aside, how in the world are we supposed to take care of everybody else when it is quite obvious that we are not taking care of ourselves? Now, also, all of this was done from the terrorist angle. In other words, we will vet out people who we feel are going to bring terrorist or radical Islamic terror to the United States. It's not really going to work. Okay, there's no way you can really vet out a terrorist. Okay, number 2, Gavin Long, Micah Xavier Johnson, Dylan Roof, and countless others. Let's throw in the ones who attacked police and shot at police. There was somebody in was it Philadelphia? But that guy that ran up on the police officer and shot into the car. Okay, well, what we're not dealing with is the issue of domestic terrorism, because one of the things that Trump and a lot of Republicans were accusing the Democrats of is saying that, why don't you just call it what it is, which is radical Islamic terrorism? Well, why don't we call what's going on in this country what it is, which is radical domestic terrorism? When you got people going in schools and shooting up schools full of children, when you got people shooting and unloading at the cops, when you got people running up to police cars and shooting into police cars, well, that is just as much of a terrorist act as the quote-unquote radical Islamic terrorist. So what you should do is lump it all under terrorism. So we can't just single out the person who happens to be Islamic and commits a terrorist act. And then you're going to say, well, I'm going to ban every Muslim. Because, come on, Trump. Now, that's one thing. This was about Muslims. And you know it was about Muslims. I was going to say Muslims. You know it was about Muslims because your boy, Rudy Giuliani, just recently said you did want something to keep Muslims out of the country. So it was a Muslim motivated. We got plenty of domestic terrorists in the United States that were born here, that live here, and that, the guy that shot up the club in Florida, he was born here. He may have been radicalized on the internet, whatever it was he saw on the internet, and influenced him to go out and shoot up a bunch of people, or maybe he was a closeted gay person who couldn't accept the fact that he was gay and just went and took out his I can't come out of the closet, itis out on a bunch of gay people. But he was born here. So Micah Xavier Johnson was born here. Gavin Long was born here. Dylan Roof was born here. So once again, we're trying to clean up somebody else's backyard when we haven't cleaned our backyard up first. Although I do agree with, until we clean up our backyard, don't bring other people in here to dirty up the backyard. Let us clean it up before you come over and dirty up. And then that way we can better identify exactly who is coming into our backyard to dirty it up. So this was it was a first step. It was an awkward step. It was a painful step. It was a step that reverberated around the world. I think President Trump is slowly, if he hasn't gotten it yet, he may begin to get that running the country, being a diplomat to other parts of the world is entirely different than running a business. You cannot run this country like you run a business. So it was a painful first step, but it was one of those steps that had to be taken. I mean, you can only imagine what people in the South, for example, what they felt what was going to happen to the country when they had to give up slavery, when black people got the right to vote, when black people got the right to carry guns. So everybody thought that the country was just going to explode in all this violence and anarchy and stuff like that, and it didn't happen. So it's the same thing with President Obama's health care. His health care plan is just going to ruin America. It's just going to destroy the system, and it didn't. Okay, it was a painful first step, and all those steps eventually have to be tweaked and worked on and reworked until you get a workable solution that will benefit everybody. And you can't be so heavy-handed. The vast majority of immigrants that come here and people that come here are decent, self-respecting, hard-working, honest people that just want to get away from a lot of the mess that's going on from where they are. If for example, if the mess that's going on in Syria wasn't going on, most of the Syrians would have rather stayed home. Most people don't want to leave where they're coming from to go somewhere else, but they don't have a choice. And again, you have that Syrian war, which is basically a war by proxy. You got two other sides instigating to keep this fighting going, and we're not doing anything to check that. And we can't do anything to check that because if you find out that Donald Trump's old buddy Vladimir Putin is involved in anything, how do you as a president deal with that when you've been singing this man's praises? And at least not we forget, because we certainly do forget. None of us are Native Americans. That makes all of us immigrants in some way, shape, or form. So if you're not a Native American, you don't belong here no more than anybody else that you're trying to prevent from coming over here belongs over here. So we got to keep it open for everybody to come in who wants to come in. We have to keep people out who want to come here to cause trouble. But at the same time, we need to check our own people who are here causing trouble and causing chaos and shooting up schools and trying to gun down the police and all kinds of things like that. So the worst terrorism sometimes is the terrorism that is homegrown, homemade, and always available at your doorstep. This is KTM and the Wake Up Report saying think a little bit. It will do wonders for you.